All right, so now the next thing is, what are the strategies? So there are 5 different option strategies that can be used to capture these kind of profits from the extreme volatility that surround the earnings season. So now each strategy works best based on certain circumstances. So these are the strategies that I'll typically look at, or the kind of the go-to strategies that we'll look for to use. So there are 5 different ones that we could go to. So the first one, and we'll go through this, is a short iron condor. So this is actually a debit spread where your total risk is your debit paid. And this strategy is used for big price spikes up or down. So like in that AKAM example, it has a tendency for big price spikes. So this is a strategy that we're going to use to take advantage of that. So big moves up or down after the earnings release. Now the second one is what we call the long iron condor spread. And this is actually a credit spread, okay? So this is one we're going to use for volatility collapse. As you know, as you go into earnings, implied volatility is always going to go up because the uncertainty to that stock as it heads to its earnings release. So implied volatility goes up. What happens after the earnings release? It goes down because all the uncertainty is taken out. So that's what we call volatility crush. So this is a second type strategy that we can use. And we'll go through that in great detail in the course, how to use it, when to use it. The third one is what we call the long iron butterfly. So this is also a credit spread strategy, also designed and constructed for volatility crush. The fourth one is what I call the double lightning. This is a really, really cool spread that we've been using. And it's also a debit spread for your defined risk as your debit paid. But the great thing with this one is kind of what I call a flexibility trade, because it does a couple things. First, it will take advantage of that volatility crush, but also it gives you a potential to trade or stay in for a post-earnings trend trade. All right, so really cool setup for that. We'll go through some examples how it works. And then the fifth one is the earnings pairs trade strategy, a really cool strategy for trading any post-earnings trend. And so this is going to be a spread trade or a pairs trade where you're long and short to just play at post-earnings trend. So these are the 5 strategies, and I'll give you a little sampling of those today.